Hey, what's up guys? It's Austin. We have a cool video for you today with a little bit of surprise you want to stay in tune for at the end. We're going to build a RetroPi out of a Raspberry Pi 3. It's going to be really cool. We actually had a case that got sent to us from a seller off of Etsy, and we'll link to him in the video description. And what he does is he 3D prints cases for the Raspberry Pi 3 and the Raspberry Pi Zero. This one is called the Super TinyTendo because it looks like a Super Nintendo. But it's really, really cool. It's really high quality, and I can't say enough about how good it is. The guy's name is Collector Craft, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but he actually embosses his name inside of the case. But it's really cool, really high quality, and I really dig what they got going on. So that's what it's going to go in. But what you'll need for this build is you'll need a Raspberry Pi 3, a AC adapter that is micro USB, some kind of case, which is what we use for this, is what we're using this for, and then also a micro SD card. I recommend 32 gigs because it's kind of at the sweet spot for price to size. I think we picked this one up for like $10 off Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping too. If your computer doesn't have an SD card reader, then you'll need something like this to plug your SD card in so your computer will read it. This one's actually really cool. I'll link to it in the video description too because it's USB 3. Depending on how your computer is, it may not be a USB 3 card reader, but this one's really good. But now that that's pretty much all you need. Past that, it's software, and I'm going to go ahead and turn and get into that now. What you'll need software-wise is Win32 Disk Imager. We'll link to that in the video description. It's a super easy download. You'll also need RetroPi, which once again we'll link to it. But it is in a image file, but it's actually zipped. So what you'll also need WinRAR to unzip it in order to flash it to our SD card. So I've got all this stuff already downloaded. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unzip our image. WinRAR automatically picked it up to know that it's the program that we want to use to unzip it. But all you'll do is just drag it to your desktop. It'll take it a couple of seconds depending on how fast your computer is. It'll unzip it and it'll be ready on our desktop. Alright, so it's ready. So now we'll need to open Win32 Disk Imager. And I'm going to plug this into our computer now. So it needs to be a clean, fresh, nothing on it, formatted SD card. If you don't know how to format your SD card, it's a quick Google search away. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to show you how to do that. What you'll do now is you will select your device, which I'm going to check just make sure what ours came up as. And it is E. So E is what it has selected here. Now we're going to select our image, which is on our desktop. RetroPi, open, and then we'll hit write. What it's saying is writing to a physical device that can corrupt it. This is giving you a warning. We'll say yes. And it's off. So as you can see, this is actually a really simple process. I know that to some people it seems like it could be kind of complicated, kind of hard to do because, I mean, this thing kind of looks intimidating. It looks like just like a slab of PCB, or am I going to have to solder? Am I going to have to do anything like that? But it's really not like that. This is very, very basic. Anybody can do it. And so don't be afraid to try to build one of these on your own. All right, guys. So this is done now. So now that it's finished, we're going to close it. I'm going to get our SD card out. And then we are going to put it in to our Raspberry Pi 3. Now that that's finished, we're going to hook it up to power. And into the video input of our Elgato. I'm going to pull up our Elgato software. All right, and as you can see, it is working. So, what we're going to do now is you do need a controller of some sort. We're going to use our Xbox One controller. And it's going to take it just a second to run through this setup process it's doing. But then once it's done, we have a little bit of setup we have to do on the RetroPi itself. And then it'll be pretty much ready to play. So I'm going to plug our Xbox controller in via USB. Usually you'll use a longer USB cord than this, but this is just what I have handy. So we'll turn our controller on. It's telling us to hold the A button. Alright, so there was a cut there, and the reason is we had to get a different cord. Our short little crappy cord that I said you probably need a longer cord than, well, we needed a longer cord because that one didn't work worth a crap. So we're going to try this one. And that one works. So now all we're doing is configuring our gamepad. I'm going to go through it real quick. You just look what it tells you to push, and that's it. I mean, it's really easy. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to breeze through this real quick. Alright. So, now that we have that done, we're going to select an audio output. We're going to use HDMI. And now that that's done, we're going to come into RaspberryPi config. We're going to do this first option here, which is expand file system. What that's going to do is it's going to give you a place to store your games rather. So what you'll do is you'll click left on your analog stick, and it'll give you the option to select. All right, so now it's been resized. We're going to go to finish. We can reboot it now, but once this is done, we're going to go ahead and set up our Wi-Fi. What we can do with the Wi-Fi is we can use it to transfer games instead of having to use some other kind of storage like a USB stick. It's a lot easier to do it FTP over Wi-Fi. Okay, alright, now that we're rebooted, we're going to go ahead and come into RetroPi again. We're going to go to our Wi-Fi. And we're going to connect to a Wi-Fi network. We're going to cut here because you don't need to know our Wi-Fi password. We love you guys, but we're not on that level yet. Alright, so one more thing you'll need is a keyboard. Thank God that we're hoarders here at Digital Power Trip and we have one laying around. But if you want to, you don't have to have a keyboard, but if you want to set up your Wi-Fi network and your Wi-Fi network has a password, then you'll need a keyboard. Cool beans. So we're connected now. So we're just going to go over here to exit. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to show you how to add ROMs. Once again, we're not going to show you where to get ROMs because just for copyright and legal issues, it's easy enough to Google search. We don't need to show you. I'm just going to download something real quick like SNES game. Sounds pretty good, especially considering we're using the TinyTendo. Alright, so now that that's done, we've got our SNES ROM here. We're going to come in here and go to our network, and our RaspberryPi should show up. Yep, right here it says RetroPi. You double click there. Okay, so the username is Pi, like P-I, like 3.14, not like I eat pie. And then the password is Raspberry. Like that. We're going to say remember our credentials. And that's going to let us in here. So then we'll come to ROMs. we'll pick the system that we did. So that will be the SNES. We're going to drag our ROM into here. It's going to copy it. Depending on how fast your network speed is, will determine how fast that'll be. So now that that's done, we're going to come back into our RetroPi. We're going to go back one screen, hit start, go quit, and restart emulation station. Every time you add a new ROM, you have to restart the emulation station. So now that it's restarted, we're going to come here to the Super Nintendo, and we have Mega Man X. Alright, so here's Mega Man. I'll give it a quick play just so you guys can see what it looks like. And on the RetroPi 3, it's been my experience that everything up to PlayStation 1 runs really well. N64 is hit or miss. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. But up to PS1 runs like a charm. It's just as good, if not better, than running it on the original PlayStation. So, here we go. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not really familiar with this game. But, as you can see, it works really well. I'm going to show you how to put it together real quick before the end of the video. But stay tuned, we're going to have a follow-up video that's going to be released very shortly after this that has a lot to do with this. So, I know that's real smoke and mirrors and doesn't really make a lot of sense to you guys right now. But, stay tuned for the next video after I show you guys how to put this together. But we want to shut down our Raspberry Pi. You never just want to pull the power out of it because it can corrupt your SD card. So we're going to go to shutdown system. Yes, we want to shut down. Alright, so now that this is done, we're going to put our Raspberry Pi in here, and he actually has screw holes, if you can see those right here, that line up perfectly with your Raspberry Pi. Probably help if I took my SD card out. That kind of gives you a little bit more room to work. So then it's kind of snaps in here to where the ports line up. And then you take your screws that were provided, which is another really cool thing. I know it seems like, you know, kind of a given, but a lot of times when you order stuff, hardware is not included. And it is really cool that he went ahead and included screws for us. Alright, so after that, we're just going to put our top on, flip it over, line our holes up, and once again use our included hardware and probably our bigger screwdriver because it's got bigger. That's all done. We're going to put our SD card back in, and that's it. This thing is really, really cool. I really like how well the ports line up. I really like the SD card access because there's a lot of things you can do with the Raspberry Pi 3. This is just one of the few things you can do. So it's really cool that you can remove your SD cards if you want to do different things with it. But man, the detail that was put into this thing is just outrageous. From the hand painted on the red power button here, all the way to just, I mean, this thing is an absolute beauty. So definitely check Collector Craft out. He's put a lot of time and effort into these things and has done a great job. This isn't something that was just downloaded from one of your 3D printing file websites. This is something he built in CAD from the ground up. He spent a ton of time on it. So definitely check Collector Craft out on Etsy. We'll link to him in the description. And like I said, I've got a follow-up video to this that'll be coming shortly behind it, so definitely check it out. It'll be 20-30 seconds of your time, but it'll really be worth it. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking this out. Come back, like us, subscribe us, check us out on Facebook and all the other social media platforms, and we'll see you next time.